Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Monday, December 17th. Hope you had a great weekend. I have some very positive news for you guys, very bullish news. Of course, before I go further, this is not financial or investment advice. Now, we saw a market rally, I should say a market pump actually, where we're seeing a lot of green. It's good to see green because we know the prices have been diving down, man. It's just been downwards and downwards. So we got a bit of a pump here, but as I always tell you guys, you have to be careful here. Not just because there's green means that we're actually at the start of a rally or a bull run or anything like that, because there is manipulation in the market. And the way the charts look, when you look at the data from a technical analysis standpoint, it looks as though it's automated, meaning that, a lot of traders have bot setups and programs and so forth, and his algorithms set to, buy at a certain price or whatever it may be. And also, I believe the CBOE Bitcoin futures are wrapping up in a few days. It'll be the 1 year anniversary for that since they launched last December. So we got to let this play out. Let's see if this actually continues, or it's maybe just a short squeeze. Or a quick trap here. It goes up a bit and boom, crashes back down. I don't know. I don't think anyone can accurately say, well, we've hit the bottom and we're starting up. We got to let this play out. As I mentioned, there is manipulation in the market, and the big boys from Wall Street know how to play this game very well. So we have to be careful as investors. So let's see what happens. Let it play out, but it's good to see green. It's good to see everything up. XRP up significant, actually, from a 24-hour perspective, just over 15%. EOS just over 25%. So it's seeing a big pump there. But let's let it play out. Now, on to the big news, guys. This is reported by Bloomberg, former Goldman Sachs electronic trading head sees parallel in crypto. This was the tweet here, and the actual headline. Same title here. But Greg Tusar serves as Tagomi Holdings Chief Technology Officer, and I'm going to talk a bit about Tagomi Holdings next. But he is the former global head of electronic trading at Goldman Sachs Group Inc. So this is no amateur guy. This is no random dude off the street. This is a guy who worked at Goldman Sachs, the largest investment bank in the world, has a lot of control in Wall Street and in politics. You see a lot of the Goldman Sachs guys end up working in the government. It's crazy how that happens. He is excited about digital assets despite the horrific year for cryptocurrencies. Here's a quote. "It feels like being at the early days of trading equities electronically," said Tusar, who serves as Chief Technology Officer and is a co-founder of Tagomi Holdings. It's early stage. There's a lot of opportunity to build great businesses and have impact. So what have I been telling you guys all along? And I know it's hard to digest, especially if you haven't really invested before, maybe in stocks, or you haven't been, this hasn't been part of your life before, where maybe you invested in the .com boom or anything like that. We are the early adopters, the pioneers in a very young market, a new asset class. And now that this market is shifting towards being for the rich. Now, we are lucky. You have to count yourself lucky if you got in and you're holding and you bought at low prices, of course. So you got to count yourself lucky, because this is the start of a new revolution, a new boom, disruptive technology in cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And the big guys recognize it. That's why NASDAQ is launching Bitcoin futures next year. TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, ICE, the parent company in New York Stock Exchange, along with Starbucks. All of these people are getting into crypto. They're not doing it for fun as a hobby. They're going to make money. And if you are patient enough to go along for the ride, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride, I've said that many times, right? And we're seeing some of that roller coaster ride of moves in the market. Prices going down, and you see them go up, but it's going to stabilize eventually as the big money comes in, as there's regulations and there's manipulation gets weeded out of the market. So we just got to be patient. But guys, look at this. I mean, this guy is not a joke. You can look him up yourself. Former global head of electronic trading at Goldman Sachs. So big things are ahead, and I'm super excited. I'm glad I'm on the side of the moves that Goldman Sachs and all these big players are making, because there's a lot of weak hands left in the market who are only focused on price. They are not seeing what's actually happening behind the scenes. That's why it's important to do your research. That's why I make these videos to share facts with you. I don't make stuff up. I show you the facts, show you the sources. It's here in front of our faces. It's if you want to take the time to do the research, to read these articles, to go through and see what the big money's doing, what moves are they making, and all signs point to building out and setting up services for this market. Now, let me skip ahead here. Okay, here we go. So we just talked about Tagomi Holdings. Well, what the hell is Tagomi Holdings? So it is backed by Peter Thiel. Now, many of you know Peter Thiel as the PayPal co-founder. He was an early investor in Facebook. If you guys read the different books about Facebook's history, or you saw the movie The Social Network, you would notice that Peter Thiel gave Mark Zuckerberg his first real round of funding to build Facebook out, right? So this guy is no joke, and he's obviously loaded with money. And if you recall, back in January, and this article here by the Wall Street Journal, January of this year, it was reported that his fund invested around $15 to $20 million in Bitcoin. $15 to $20 million in Bitcoin. So he is making moves. This is a smart guy. I mean, look at the moves he's made before, right? This guy's no joke. So they've launched Tagomi, the electronic brokerage firm. Let me give you some details here. Tagomi Holdings Incorporated, an electronic brokerage started backed by PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel's venture capital firm, has launched, according to a December 17 press release today. Tagomi is an electronic brokerage for digital assets. The firm's offerings include cross-market execution, capital management, post-trading reporting, as well as settlement and custodial services. Who do you think this is for? You and I? No. This is for the other millionaires and billionaires. Big money. I keep telling you guys, look at what the big money's doing, and they are setting up shop, building out their services. This is huge, guys. Just to give you a quote here, as Cointelegraph reported in October, institutional investors replaced high net worth individuals as the biggest buyers of cryptocurrency transactions over $100,000. So did you hear that? They replace the regular Joe Schmo and going in for the big money. A recent report from Dyer states that institutional investors have shifted to over-the-counter markets. That's why we haven't seen the volume on the exchanges. OTC markets, guys, they are buying up. And guess what? You think Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Bakkt are going to launch without crypto? They've been buying and storing, and they're going to sell it, guess what, at a commission, at a markup, right? And then they're going to make their money, guys, and they're going to provide custody service. They're going to provide the full white glove service. This is what is coming. We got to be patient, though. So you got to remember these things when the price goes down, because, like I said, roller coaster ride. It's going to go through high volatility because it's a new market. So just keep focused on what the big money is doing. Tagomi reportedly raised $16 million from such industry players as Peter Thiel's Founders Fund that invests in technology companies, seed stage investment fund SV Angel, private equity and venture capital firm Collaborative Fund, and others. Man, this is huge, guys. Just think about this. Let's go back, I don't know, to the early 2000s, right? If someone came to you and said, hey, you should invest in this thing called Facebook, and Peter Thiel is investing it right now, right? Let's say Facebook didn't go public. People, there was MySpace, there was other stuff. Would you have given, if you I know hindsight is 2020, but if you put yourself in those shoes and you had money to invest like you were investing in crypto, would you have done it? When you're seeing guys like Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, making these moves, all these big players getting in early. would you have done it? And we're very much in that same situation. The same big money, the same people who invested in the dot-com boom are doing the same thing now with this new asset class. And like I said, I count myself lucky. I'm aware of this, and this opportunity is in front of us. This is our Google, our Amazon, our Facebook here, guys. So I hope you see what's happening. And once again, I'm showing you facts. I'm not just, if we didn't have this news, if there was no news of big money or whatever, then yeah, you could say, dude, you're just full of hot air, right? You're just making stuff up. But look at the moves being made, and we are, we are witnesses to what's happening here. So keep holding, guys, keep holding. Now to some XRP news. As you all know, R3 will be leveraging XRP in the Corda Settle, their product, which operates very much like Ripple's XRapid. This is, of course, huge news that we heard about a couple of weeks ago. And the Richard Gendal Brown, who's the CTO at R3, he wrote a blog, here on Medium. And he tweeted about it here, and it breaks down how they will leverage XRP. He answers all their respective settlement, security, verification questions. It's a very long blog post, so I'm going to put a link in the description. Why? I want you to have knowledge about what's happening here as an XRP investor, because knowledge is power. You should know what's going on, and it will give you a lot of insight into what's coming, guys. It's big. Like I said before, I hold XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I believe XRP will be number one because of its utility and use case on a massive global scale, disrupting a multi-trillion-dollar problem. And not only Ripple, R3 is pushing in. R3 has its own bank partnerships and partnerships with different companies. He tweeted here, I've had loads of questions about Corda Settle concept. We open sourced the other week. In this piece, I explain the underlying concept. It's very simple, and point out how it could help unlock the overly complicated interoperability debate. Now, when I said this was very long, I wasn't kidding. It took me a long time to read through. I had to read through a few other sections, but it explicitly talks about the usage of XRP. And no other crypto. Sure, it talks about other assets being alluded to, but it specifically talks about XRP here, guys. And he goes into, let me scroll back up here. Like, for example, making payment and securing evidence from foreign ledger and providing it to the local ledger. So he goes through in a bulleted format here. So, for example, we update the Corda transaction to record which oracle we will use. I now make a payment across the XRP ledger, including the relevant reference number as a memo. I then forward the ID of the XRP transaction to the oracle, etc., etc., etc. It goes into different scenarios here, and just the start to finish, right? So, for example, finalizing the value of the payment, where he talks about leveraging XRP, and he says here, okay, so how many would that need to be? $100 in XRP. Let's check an exchange rate. Oracle, it's about 344 XRP at the time of writing. Great. So let's get the obligation contract on Corda to reflect the amendment to agreement. Where should I send the money? And then XRP address and blah, blah, blah. And it goes through, guys, this is a great read. I'm telling you, go read this. And it was so insightful, and the haters are going to be, oh, no one's going to use XRP, blah, blah, blah. Banks are going to use XRP via R3's Corda Settle and Ripple XRapid. It's coming. And let's not forget Ripple Spring Initiative, where XRP is going to be within ecosystems and marketplaces. Big things are ahead. Let's be patient, but it's coming, guys. It is coming. And that's why I believe XRP will be number one. The utility, the use case is massive. No other crypto can compare. So once again, I'll put a link in the description. Do yourself a favor. Go read it. Share it with other people who are in the the XRP community, who are investing in XRP. This is very, very interesting and definitely good to know how this will be leveraged. It's your investment. You should know as much about it as possible. Now, moving ahead, some general news here around Bitcoin. And like I said, guys, just to show you my portfolio again, Ripple XRP, the majority of my portfolio, Bitcoin. Even Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse has said he is long on Bitcoin. Bitcoin ain't going anywhere. It will lose its number one spot. It's going to take a long time to get its momentum into utility. I don't know when the hell the Lightning Network's going to happen. But right now we know its utility sucks, right? But people are using it as a store of value. It has the branding. It's going to be like a digital gold. And that's why I'm still holding Bitcoin, and I'm long on it as well. Like I said, Brad Garlinghouse himself said he's long on it. Now, the new U.S. Chief of Staff, and by the way, this is not about politics, we're just reporting the facts here, says Bitcoin is good, not manipulable by any government. So it's interesting that you have people in government are saying these things. This is super important if you want to see the growth of the market. This week, following the scheduled leave of John F. Kelly, United States President Donald Trump has chosen the pro-Bitcoin Mick Mulvaney to serve as the acting White House Chief of Staff starting in 2019. According to a Washington Post columnist, Matt O'Brien, Mulvaney has been vocal about his support for Bitcoin, and in a speech covered by Mother Jones, praised the decentralized nature of Bitcoin as a consensus currency. In 2016, Mulvaney reportedly said that the Federal Reserve effectively devalued the dollar and emphasized that the exercise of such control is not possible with a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin that is not manipulable by any government. So obviously this guy gets it. He understands what's happening here. It's good to have people who are pro Bitcoin, pro crypto, because obviously you notice a lot of these conversations start with Bitcoin. They don't get into altcoins because other people don't really know much about other altcoins. They've heard about Bitcoin for sure. So this is a great sign. We have someone in the White House now working along with the president who's pro-crypto. And we know the SEC is doing their thing. We saw Congress is reviewing a bill now to, I think it's called the Virtual Currencies Act, or whatever it is, to protect consumers, grow this market. Man, this is such a great time to be in crypto. I know the prices are down, even though we have a mini pump today, but it's setting the stage for growth, for big things to come. And I'm super excited. I've never been more bullish than I've ever been because of this news. I wish I had this news in 2016. I would have bought so much more at cheaper prices. But you know what? We're still ahead of 90-something% of the world, guys. Those of you who are holding crypto, it's really a great time. Like I said, we're pioneers, so there's a lot of new grounds here, and I think some of the SEC may have to adjust some of its rules and regulations and securities laws because crypto, doesn't fully align with all of these securities laws and all those things. So big things are ahead. Like I said, be patient. Now, some interesting news. I thought this was interesting around Bitcoin. Blockstream boosts Bitcoin satellite service with Lightning payments. So I didn't know about this, but I'll give you guys some details. Bitcoin users' ability to send transactions through outer space has just been given a boost. Blockchain technology firm Blockstream announced Monday that it has expanded its satellite service to the Asia-Pacific region. It's also added support for Lightning Network transactions, allowing users to pay for its service using the Layer 2 scaling solution. The company first launched Blockstream Satellite in August 2017, which lets Bitcoin users transfer Bitcoin through leased satellites. Initially, users in Africa, Europe, and Americas were able to utilize the system. At the time, CEO Adam Back said the service was aimed at individuals with limited internet access or who otherwise face issues accessing Bitcoin. So this is really interesting. In the months since the launch, responsive to the service has been positive, he told CoinDesk Monday. Here's a quote. There are third-party developers that have taken an interest to build local infrastructure using satellite service. For example, connecting it with mesh networks to make Bitcoin more accessible in emerging markets, Back said, regarding applications using the service. So I didn't even know this existed. This is big. And many times, they're going to go in and test the waters of Bitcoin and build this out. But the fact that they're leasing satellites in a sense and being able to send transactions globally. Think of like satellite dishes where you will get reception for TV back in the day. I think people still use it. And it's an interesting way to relay the payment information and send Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin will be the first, and then it will have the trickle down effect to other cryptos. So exciting things happening. Like I said, I didn't even know about this, and this is big. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, wow, satellites. So big things in the works, guys. Crypto is here to stay. New asset class. Disruptive technology. Blockchain is going to change the world the same way the internet did. I think people also, and don't get me wrong, we're all focused on the price because of the crypto assets we hold, because we want to make money. Of course, I want to make money. I wish the bull market would start, bull run would start today and tomorrow, whatever. Just go up and I cash out and I could retire early or whatever, right? But it takes some time, but also don't miss what's happening with blockchain. Blockchain is going to be big, guys. Outside of crypto is moving to, pushing ahead the blockchain movement. Blockchain is going to be used in healthcare, finance, different things, voting, all kinds of stuff, guys. And it's going to be game changing. So even if you're looking for a new career, maybe you want to be a blockchain developer, or you're an entrepreneur, you want to start up a related business, blockchain, something related to blockchain, just as with the internet, it's going to create a lot of different use cases, and you can really be a pioneer and be the early bird to get build out a service that isn't there yet. So big things are ahead. This is something I'm sharing with you because this is what I'm thinking about. Like, okay, what's my next step? Okay, if I make some money off of crypto, pay off all my debt, put some in savings. Can I take some of that money and look at, doing something related to blockchain, because that is going to be big as well. So guys, what do you think about this news? Would love to hear your thoughts. I personally think, man, this Goldman Sachs the Goldman Sachs chief technology officer and the global head of electronic trading, used to be at Goldman Sachs. His quotes and his thoughts are very bullish. Obviously, Peter Thiel, man. I've been hearing about Peter Thiel for years, PayPal co-founder, early Facebook, investor, and this guy's going all in. And like I said, I'm happy I'm on the side of these people who are much smarter than me and much richer than me, and the moves they're making. And that gives me a bit of assurance, not 100%, but there's some assurance that, this is going to be big, guys. This is going to take off, and I'm really early to the game here, and I should count myself lucky. So guys, what do you think? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. As mentioned before, this is not financial or investment advice. If you found this video helpful, please share with your family and friends. Thank you for your support, and I'll talk to you guys later.